What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video where we will preview the Liverpool-Ajax game, which will be Liverpool's last game until October the 1st, so Liverpool need to get a victory. Let me know your score predictions for the Liverpool-Ajax game. I think it will be a hard-fought 2-1 Liverpool win. But also first I want to share with you guys a story coming from today's media that Liverpool could offer Aston Villa Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain because Steven Gerrard is a big fan of him, and they would do a swap deal and give us Douglas Luiz, the midfielder who Liverpool were interested in the summer transfer window. Douglas Luiz is 24 years old and he remained at Aston Villa despite 3 offers from Arsenal on deadline day, the biggest one totaling 25 million. But his future is still very much in doubt because his contract expires at the end of the season, so that's why he will be very, very tempting for Liverpool to go for, because we could get a player on a really cheap deal, because at the moment Douglas Luiz's market value is 38 million euros, and because his transfer value is so high, and also because his contract expires on June the 30th 2023, we could negotiate a cut price deal of like 10-15 million pounds and get a midfielder in. And also he already has 2 goals during the season, 1 goal in the Premier League, 1 goal in the League Cup, and many journalists already said that Liverpool are working on getting a transfer in January. Of course, at the start of the month, at the start of September, the journalists said that Liverpool will move for a big midfielder next summer, but they changed their stance and they are only saying it that Liverpool are going to make a transfer move in 2023. So that means that it's likely that in the January transfer window Liverpool will make a move, and Douglas Luiz could be the player that we sign in the January transfer window. He is 24 years old, 175 centimeters tall, and what is really crucial is he hardly ever gets injured and he has a great engine in him. And as you can see, he played 42, 34 and 35 games in the last 3 seasons respectively each season, and he already has 2 goals this season in 6 games, so he started the season in very good form, and he's in that perfect age bracket, 24 years old, that Liverpool really like. And he was also playing for the Brazil national team, already played 9 games in total. The latest report claims that Liverpool still wants to bolster their midfield despite the loan signing of Arthur Melo. And because Oxlade-Chamberlain remains on the fringes at Anfield and his contract also expires at the end of the season, we could do a swap deal with Aston Villa, because Steven Gerrard and Aston Villa are big fans of Oxlade-Chamberlain, and he has some unbelievably average stats that Liverpool fans might like, and because perhaps that's exactly what Liverpool are after right now. A journalist, Mateus Lea, wrote on Twitter this week that Liverpool want Douglas Luiz. Luiz is a more defensive-minded midfielder, and so his shooting stats are obviously quite low, but his passing is solid enough. 84% completion rate puts him in the 53rd percentile, so right in the middle. He's 57th for passing into the final third. He presses well enough. He's in the 73rd percentile for the number of times he applies pressure. 51st for successful presses, again very middle of the pack. Douglas Luiz is successful with 72% of his dribbles, which is 80th percentile. He's 89th for lack of miscontrols, 77th percentile for being dispossessed, 86th percentile for ball recoveries is decent as well. All in all, there is not too much to complain about him as a defensive midfielder, and maybe that's what Liverpool want. Maybe that's the kind of player that we want to target. But Douglas Luiz is playing for a struggling team, so in a better team these percentages could improve massively, and he's even a reliable midfielder in an average team. He's better than average at completing his passes, moving past players with the ball and just not making mistakes with it. He presses well, he's vital in Liverpool's midfield, and he's comfortable being involved. So Liverpool can actually look at all of this and see very few weaknesses and then back themselves to improve Douglas Luiz. And in a better team he could play even better and he could improve in every department, because there is little doubt that an even marginally improved Douglas Luiz would be a very good player. And remember, his contract expires at the end of the season, so Liverpool could get him in January for a cut price deal, and Aston Villa would definitely want to sell him because they risk losing him for absolutely nothing in the summer transfer window. And Liverpool don't need a superstar in the defensive midfield department. We already have Fabinho, we have Henderson who can play there, even James Milner. And Douglas Luiz would be very decent cover, potentially great cover, should Jurgen Klopp and of course his coaches work their usual miracles with Douglas Luiz. So let me know, do you want Liverpool to sign him as a player? I always liked him when I watched Aston Villa play, and according to Jordan Harris, Douglas Luiz is one of the top midfield targets for Liverpool for the January transfer window. And of course he has been in mixed form lately, so he's not the finished article but I fancy Jurgen Klopp improving him, and also his contract situation opens the door for a potential bargain deal, and he should only improve as he gains more and more experience and as he works under coach Jurgen Klopp. And according to Calcio Mercato, Liverpool have identified Douglas Luiz as a main target. AC Milan, Juventus and Roma are also said to be monitoring the situation. However, Liverpool believe that they have an ace up their sleeve with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain being of interest of Aston Villa and Steven Gerrard. The Italian outlet claims that Gerrard likes Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and he could be potentially offered as part of negotiations with Aston Villa for Douglas Luiz. And there were even reports coming in that Liverpool tried to sign Douglas Luiz on transfer deadline day. According to a reliable journalist, that's what happened. Giannis Chorianopoulos, who was the journalist who broke the Kostas Tsimikas move to Liverpool from Olympiacos, claims that Liverpool tried to sign the Brazilian Luiz from Aston Villa, but the asking price was too high. Aston Villa even rejected a £25 million bid for Douglas Luiz, and Liverpool probably didn't even want to pay that amount for a player who only has 1 year left on his contract. And others are claiming that Liverpool made a £20 million bid, so I was actually right in that Liverpool didn't even want to pay 25 million for Douglas Luiz, and in the end Liverpool went for Arthur Melo, who was available for a loan deal, and I think Liverpool made the right decision there. But this means that Liverpool are definitely interested still in Douglas Luiz, and we are looking to work on a deal to get him in the January transfer window. And I also want to share some of the details of this really interesting piece from Oliver Kay on the parallels between Liverpool's current issues and the lows endured by Arrigo Sacchi's legendary AC Milan team. And you might wonder what is the connection, where Jurgen Klopp's inspiration, a lot of it came from Arrigo Sacchi's legendary AC Milan team, because they studied it when Klopp was a coach at Mainz. The previous manager at Mainz showed a lot of footage of how AC Milan played and how they defended and attacked and how they pressed the opposition, because what basically was the case is Milan reduced the size of the pitch by playing a very high line and moving towards zone marking instead of man marking, and they were, I think, the first team, the pioneers, to do that. This revolutionized the way football was played, but demanded a very structural approach to playing. It needed all players to move as one, and when they didn't, then when the players didn't get in the right spots, the team suddenly looked very bad, because it was really easy to go past players and go through the press when it is not done properly. And that's exactly what happened with Liverpool as well. Liverpool might have a similar problem at the moment, where intensity is an integral part of the game plan. If that intensity is off, we are struggling. There's always been space behind Trent and Robertson, but the other teams couldn't really exploit it before, because we were rushing them, we were high pressing them, they couldn't play through the press. Arrigo Sacchi solved the problem with even more structure in training, more of the simple basics, repetition. Jurgen Klopp seems to look for a revolution, but maybe we have everything set in place already at Liverpool. We just need to get the fire back, and we need to be more compact defensively and offensively as well. We don't have the personnel to execute the perfect typical game plan that Jurgen Klopp prefers when Henderson and Thiago or one of them is out injured, and also Fabinho didn't have the best of starts this season. And of course, if you know, Thiago and Henderson are not available, the other players who have come in for them are not the same quality and they are not even the same profile of a player. That's why I really hope that Arthur can start games regularly for Liverpool, and because he's a very similar profile to Thiago, and before Arthur came in we didn't really have a good substitute for Thiago, and I really hope that Thiago starts against Ajax, and I also hope that Harvey Elliott keeps his place, because I think he has been really good, but we need Thiago, Fabinho and Fabinho next to Harvey Elliott to get the best midfield available on the pitch. Also, the Premier League yesterday evening announced that the Chelsea-Liverpool game will be postponed as well, and that might not be the worst thing, because Liverpool have still a lot of injuries, and Chelsea with the new manager bounce could get a big result against Liverpool if we play this game right now. But of course it's not ideal, and we don't know what shape Liverpool will be in when this fixture will be rearranged. But I think we will be in better shape than right now, because right now we are in probably the worst, lowest moment of the season. So the Chelsea-Liverpool game is officially postponed. That's why it's really crucial for Liverpool to beat Ajax, because if we don't, then this Liverpool crisis will drag out until the start of October. So yeah, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I also want to hear your opinion on what do you think about the Ajax manager Schroeder claiming that Man United boss Erik ten Hag has given him the blueprint to beat Liverpool. And it's really interesting what he said. I've looked at the Man United Liverpool game and what they did. There are certain things they did that are applicable to us. You have to be good with the ball against these kind of teams. You need to have guts and courage, and if you have that, then you have a chance. And the Ajax box is expecting a storm at Anfield. I think Klopp is just going to ask the players to play in a defensive way much better than they did last time. Managers admit if you haven't played well. We expect to go into a storm. We are also good. We try to play our own game. You have to have courage, and if we can do that, we have a chance. If you don't have it, it's going to be difficult, especially one-on-one. Ajax has shown in the last years we can compete at this level. It's a big compliment for the people here at Ajax to get a strong squad again. We signed a few players, some young players have come in which fit into the Ajax system. It gives us new energy. And I think Ajax, who reached the Champions League semi-finals and the last 16 in the past 4 years, they have to be taken seriously. And if Liverpool are not on it 100%, then we will struggle. So I expected the players to show a big reaction to this terrible defeat against Napoli, and I really hope that the players show the fight, the determination and the passion and the intensity that has been sorely lacking in the past few weeks from the Liverpool team. So I'm really looking forward to the game. And Ajax are in great form. They have won all 7 of their games so far, and Liverpool have only won 2. So Liverpool really have to be on their aim game. The good news is that Thiago, Jota and Matip are back, and I expect Thiago and Matip to start. And the big question is who will start up front. I would start Darwin Núñez, because I think he can hurt Ajax with his runs, and also with Thiago in the team I think we can supply Darwin Núñez with quality balls that he can convert into goals and good chances. But Liverpool still have 8 senior players out absent, as you can see, so I'm really hoping that won't hurt us, and I think this is a good thing that the Chelsea game got postponed, because Liverpool have so many injured players, and hopefully by the time we play Chelsea, which is one of the hardest fixtures of the season, hopefully many of Liverpool's injuries will have healed by then. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know how you enjoyed this video, and see you later. Have a nice day. Goodbye.